as if we've done anything. We don't even know the amount of dollars being circulated in our system. Do you know we have 3 different rates? We have Bank of Ghana rate, we have Forex Bureau rate, we have black market rate, and you are going about lying and behaving like we are in control of our economy. I am telling you today, this whole thing about 24-hour economy is got no substance. It's a sham. It doesn't do us any good. It is propaganda. It's not going to give any results. It is cost 90. It's deceiving the ordinary Ghanaian. It has no future.
So I've heard it in the news, and I mean kind of rumor. Say, fellow Ghanaians, NDC4 are planning to bring in another bill. One more plan is another bill at the beba. Now bill we know me who I think GH1 TV, yeah, and one more year fly be something like that. Say Attorney General say one more the bill will be banned. I don't know where meaning say Ghana for a bit to a bill I can't tell, but I'm there in Parliament today as I'm talking to you now. Honorable Stephen Amo, when it comes to say against schooling chromophobia, he's very good at that. Or you're very good in Parliament. Say yenting crofo NDC4 na ye expose you more party. He's very good, one of the toppest and the finest MPC one more Parliament. Obego ni mo asese do Parliament ya. Me catch us me tiny pa. After election no campaign, let's focus. Stephen Amo Sticka at the NDC4 wuro school munda of Parliament. Na chaos because it was about to turn to chaos. Ni na no 24-hour economy and this for share boss wo de beba no. Ebusu ehun asem asen asole e Parliament house na jebre na tie enkomo course me nteme ho ase course Parliament tie bra highest South Africa me
abo Stephen Amo.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for this opportunity, and I thank those who are trying to, in attempt to fulfill most of the campaign promises that were not preceded with any research, collected data with any integrity, but just for people to think they said and they are doing it, even though they are dysfunctional to the performance of our republic, making an attempt in a way. But Mr. Speaker, I was thinking it is time we dealt away with some of these policy cliches that have not helped us as a country. The question I always ask is, are we sure that we only just want to be in power or come to power because to some of us, either as individuals or as groups, it is all about enterprising, making money, having power, and flexing up and showing our shoulders and bare chest to the public. I think we need to deal away with this. I use the word you asked me to retract, so I'll use that again. These dysfunctional strategic positions that have been very drift to us. Mr. Speaker, the object of the bill, I want to read it again, if you permit me. The object of the bill is to establish the 24-hour economy authority to ensure the integrated sustainable transformation of national systems for economic production, supply chain, marketing, and labor power development, and to provide for related matters. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask them, what do they mean by 24-hour economy? Mr. Speaker, it entails business operations, public services, agriculture, running these areas continuously 24/7 across day and night. From what my brothers were coming from and the emphasis we were placing on all these policies was that they wanted us to operate a shift program that will offer jobs to the masses, to Ghanaians, and also build our economy sustainably and attain the long-term economic growth and stability. And if you read all these, when it comes to the public service, security, health, we are already running 24-hour economy. We are running shift. So their emphasis was on the economic development. Building factories, manufacturing factories that will employ thousands of Ghanaians, run 8-hour shift 3 times a day or 3 phases. What have they done so far to attain that goal? Mr. Speaker, this is a strategic drift. It is impossible. It's just a fallacy. It's not going to work anyway. In the first place, they should give us an idea, a picture of a manufacturing framework that they have researched and appraised for us to believe in this policy. We live in this country. I'm not wishing them bad. If it's good, it's for this country. But I am telling you, Mr. Speaker, and the entire Ghanaian community, it is not something they've thought through. I'm not saying it's not a good thing. Mr. Speaker, the 24-hour economy my brothers from the NDC side are talking about, they have no idea about what they want to do. I'm being honest with you. If you go to most of the developed economies, when they are talking about 24-hour economy, go to China, go to the European countries, go to Latin America, go to Northern Americans, you see manufacturing industries. The ecosystem is so effective and efficient that thousands of young people from that country are working. Is that what they want to tell us?
The demand and supply thing.
Mr. Speaker, this whole political gimmicks and propaganda to deceive voters, I think we should have a new paradigm shift. We need to redefine our corporate focus as a country and the reasons why we are in politics. We should be getting tired of some of these propaganda, communist inferior tactics, machineries that they are dishing out to the people. Mr. Speaker, then you have to come to another issue that I'm surprised. Once again, they want to do this to help build a very productive economic framework. Are you dealing with our dwindling fiscal space, our policy framework? We run a negative effective tax rate economy. We run a debt inclined economy. And one of the reasons is that we are not able to control our expenditures effectively. We are not dealing with the correlation that we need between our expenditures control and our GDP growth. We have a lot of institutions that are already overlapping, that are already duplicated in terms of functions and structures. We already have all of them. Why are they trying to set up another one? Are we not tired of abusing and misusing state resources in the name of politics and creating jobs for the boys? Is it what we want to do for Ghanaians? The young people out there, look at them. Only a few of them even get job to do. Why are we continuing this recycling unfortunate inimical policies that are destroying this country? Mr. Speaker, I am surprised that my brother Adongo and my chairman, he is talking about interest rate inflation and other things. Today, Mr. Speaker, I want us to invite any professor in this world to come. We are tired of this propaganda. What has the NDC done for the past 12 years?
12 months.
12 months, sorry. What have you done? It is in this house, Mr. Speaker, it is in this house that my own brother, Dr. Atuforsin, came and read their own budget. And they stated all the primary macro indicators in this house. GDP was growing 5.6% before you took over. Inflation had been reduced from 54.1 to 22.9 before you took over. Primary balance, reserve, everything. We are running a defensive sector economy. If you don't understand what is called a defensive economic market sector, I'm explaining to you today. The systematic risk index of our market is far less than 1. So there's a lag period. Ghanaians are enjoying what MPP government did. Stop lying to them. Can you calculate any of your contributions as a percentage of our GDP today? Tell us. We are tired of lies and the deception and the propaganda.
That's right.
I am not blaming you, you've not done anything. You are building your first year, you are doing rearrangement, calibration and configuration. We agree. But you haven't done anything.
That's right.
NDC government has not done anything yet. We are yet to feel the impact of anything you are going to do. Stop lying to Ghanaians.
Yeah.
What have you added to the economy? Tell me. What have you added? Mr. Speaker, by December...
Stephen Amo,
3 minutes.
Withdraw the word stop lying.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Speaker. I've done that. Mr. Speaker, I've withdrawn.
So you are deceiving us.
Mr. Speaker, they talk about exchange rate. What are the primary macro indicators? When it comes to our independent, so what are the independent factors or variables of exchange rate currency performance? One is it is to supply and demand. By December and January, when they took over, we had gotten over $1 billion in account because we domesticated cocoa syndication. First time in the history of this country. I stand to be corrected. Because we have had free and fair, peaceful election that had rebuilt and restored the confidence of investors. Because American government had entered into trade war with the Asian partners. Now you are talking as if you've done anything. We don't even know the amount of dollars being circulated in our system. Do you know we have 3 different rates? The Bank of Ghana rate, we have Forex Bureau rate, we have black market rate, and you are going about lying and behaving like we are in control of our economy. You are sorry, you are misleading. Mr. Speaker, look at this chamber. Respectfully, look at yourself, look at me, your spectacles and mine, what they are wearing. Everything here, we imported them. Who has control over the exchange rate? You are only enjoying what you took over. You have not done anything yet. I'm not blaming you. Ghanaians should begin to praise us, except that the impact that they felt late. You would have lost the election. Stop doing propaganda. You are talking about 24-hour economy. You see, Mr. Speaker, our brothers from the NDC are constantly engaged in the use of communist inferior tactics as a political tool. I am telling you today, this whole thing about 24-hour economy is got no substance. It's a sham. It doesn't do us any good. It is propaganda. It's not going to give any results. It is cost 90. It's deceiving the ordinary Ghanaian. It has no future.
That's right.
Now you're talking about it has come to stay.
Stay where?
A policy is not a matter of the policy staying. It's about the results. Whether it's going to provide the needed incentives we need as a country, as a sovereignty.
That's right.
If you have a child that has been 100 years and never offered the society anything and was drug addict, and you are spending on him and it's a liability to the state, is that what you want? I rather prefer a child that will be 40-year-old, but the child can offer our society and our country something that we can say the child is an asset. You don't develop a liability for Ghanaians. The fact of the matter is that they never thought through 24-hour economy. They never conducted any research. They don't have any data backing it. They don't know the future of 24-hour economy. In any case, there was a time that I asked 22 of them. They couldn't even define. All of them were giving different definitions. How could one policy multi-dimensional definitions? Stop deceiving Ghanaians. Mr. Speaker, trying to conclude on what I'm saying, I'm asking my brothers from the NDC and the government to go and rethink, because this document, Mr. Speaker, contains nothing. It's like medicine without a potent medicinal element. It's like taking water when you have infection. It's nothing.
That's right.
So, Mr. Speaker, all I want to say is that they should withdraw all these things, go back. They don't have to abuse the fact that they have numbers. They don't have to abuse the fact that they can pass anything they want. Posterity will ask them. The next generation will ask them, what did you use your numbers to do because you have power? This 24-hour economy, even though it's not a bad policy, they are not prepared. It has nothing good to offer us. There's nothing in it. It is empty. The authority they want to have, it hasn't got even where you should think of authority.
That's right.
I'm surprised. Why are you jumping the gun? because you have numbers. What is the ulterior motive behind this? Mr. Speaker, I would like to end here, but I'm advising them, if they take my advice one day, Mr. Speaker, allow me to speak to you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity.
Yes, I will give the floor to Honorable Kwame Agbodza.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity to contribute to the motion regarding the 24-hour economy bill 2025. Mr. Speaker, I was looking for my very good friend Sticka to congratulate him for the vigorous campaign he mounted in defense of his candidate towards the NPP parliamentary presidential elections. I also want you to take the result you got in good faith. But did I hear you say that we don't even understand what we are doing? Honorable Sticka, it appears your constituent also didn't even know what you were talking about, because your candidate lost in your constituency. So Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, it appears all the dancing, all the vigorous campaign, your constituents alone didn't even understand what you were talking about. So they voted against your candidate. Mr. Speaker, I heard my colleagues. You know, sometimes I agree with them when they say that as political actors, we should be principled. And it's very important so that the country doesn't think that anytime we do things, we don't think deeply about it. But Mr. Sticka, Honorable Sticka, in fact, at the point, recently I heard you arguing that you were supposed to occupy a position, but they didn't give it to you. Hold on. Oh, what is wrong with you? Mr. Speaker, oh, I'm coming to the policy. Oh, just sit down. I'm coming to the policy. Yes. Wait, I'm coming to the policy. Oh, wait.
All of you, resume your seats.
Yes.
Honorable Agbodza. Honorable Kwame Agbodza, just hold it. All of you, resume your seats. Honorable members, let me indicate that we've all spent more than a year. We need to conduct business within the rules. If you have something to say, catch the eye of the speaker. You will be called to raise your issue. It is disorderly to just get up and be shouting. That is not the way it is done. Honorable Kwame Agbodza, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, I heard my colleagues from the other side talk about no need to set up the 24-hour economy authority. The same people who found it necessary, despite the fact that we had Ghana Education Trust Fund, Ministry of Education, and yet set up development authorities to build 6 unique classrooms. When Adaklu Assembly was already building KVIPs, you gave that right to another authority called the Middle Belt Authority. Indeed, that is not what we are doing. Honorable Sticka, you did not actually understand the definition of what 24-hour economy is. And let me give you, Honorable Sticka, sit down. Do you have a copy of the bill? Don't go. I'm asking you, if you have a copy of the bill, let me take you to. Now you run away. Let me take you to. Okay, very good. He's now asking me to tell him what 24-hour economy is. Honorable Sticka, let's take to page 12. Honorable Sticka.
Honorable Sivinamwa, we listen to you in silence. It is true that in your submission you say they do not know what 24-hour economy is. You ask 4 people and they give you different definition. So he is on that point that you have raised.
Okay.
So let's listen to him.
Honorable Sticka, sit down. When you were speaking, I was here. Don't go there. Sit down. On page 12 of the bill itself, it says, under interpretations, 24-hour economy and accelerated development program means a cross-sectorial economic development program that seeks to modernize, reorganize, and restructure the productive sectors of the economy to achieve, amongst other things, and the listed these things. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, he obviously did not read this, so he put those things out. Mr. Speaker, I read the bill and I read the memorandum. It is a very good thing, Mr. Speaker, and that is why at least he said something that in his view the policy is not wrong, but in his view it is good policy, but he thinks that we do not know what we are doing. At least he knows that the policy is good, and this is why I'm coming to tell him one of the good things about the policy. Mr. Speaker, the 24-hour economy policy is not a project where you have a shortcutting, where you have an office set up and then there will be things like the budget you saw about. It's about coordination. Once you see the definition of this, you understand what it means. Mr. Speaker, I also hear him saying that what we promised was to have entities running 24 hours, and he's not sure if any private enterprise is doing that. Mr. Speaker, the 24-hour economy is already in motion. Mr. Speaker, the object of the bill, let me read paragraph 5. The object of the bill is to establish a 24-hour economy authority to ensure the integration, sustainable transformation of national system for economic production, supply chain, market and labor power development, and to provide related matters. Mr. Speaker, for you to have a clear synergy between the supply chain, you need good roads in this country. The whole point of the big push is to serve as a catalyst to address these things. So the 24-hour economy is not yet coming. It is already here being implemented. And Mr. Speaker, let me tell you this. There are contractors working under the big push who are currently working 24 hours to make sure that we meet these objectives. I can show you where they are. And the jobs we are talking about, the last time you were here, you said that the big push only creates menial jobs. When you have civil engineers, quantity surveyors, many people working for the rest of the big push project, you cannot say that the job of a civil engineer is not necessary. So indeed, thousands of jobs are already being created under this, and even after the building, there will be maintenance contract that will be carried on this, Mr. Speaker. So I just want colleagues to understand, since Mr. Honorable Sticka says that he's not against it, this is what you do. And let me tell you, when we were sitting where you were sitting, we opposed things, but tell me one of the things we opposed that did not come to pass that we were right. We don't oppose just for the sake of opposition, but you are in a haste to oppose for nothing, and that is why you get it wrong. I'm giving you my simple understanding of it. Be very careful what you oppose. The last time I came here, we talked about the Kumasi expressway. A few of you jumped on it and said you were not in favor of it. At least the proponent of that opposition came back to rationalize his position to say that he is no longer against it. By the way, the Accra-Kumasi Expressway is coming on, whether you like it or not. Get ready for it. Mr. Speaker, the 24-hour economy will actually create jobs. It will spur growth in our country. I agree with my colleagues that we should be careful what we are trying to do under this policy. And I agree with them. We shouldn't just rush and do anything. We should take their views also on board. But don't just oppose it and say that we don't know what we are doing, because, Mr. Speaker, this is one of the smallest bills we've done in this House. But it's quite detailed in terms of the understanding of it. And I encourage my colleagues to support this bill. Let's set up this. This is not going to be just another Kwango that is set up to create jobs for the boys. It will be a catalyst that will spur development in our country. And I want to encourage our colleagues to support this bill. And then when it comes to the consideration stage, we bring all the views we have to make it a rich bill that will stand the test of time. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
So Ghanaians are also asking the same question about this 24-hour economy. Now, Ghanaians are not ready to pay any bill again. That is the truth. Ghanaians are not ready to pay any bill again. Now, Matis almost the bill for but we are waiting for that. Oh, NDC for Yonkrophobia. Or betting you maybe so the Abeshomo baby. That is how NDC 40. That is their strategies. Or betting your muscle. NDC ni per se. Obuwa Gary near turn 1 city. Or the baby 5, I can say 50 pesos. When you better the bill for about 12 or 20. A 21 or the bill for about 12. Now, I know that Stephen Amos said, NPP for so long was a fair. So, 24-hour economy, I'm not buy a Kuramunya Mujuma. Munya Mujuma, more sign kick up for rubber. 24-hour economy now, where is the 24-hour economy? That is what Ghanaians are waiting for. In fact, I will applaud Honorable Stephen Amos, Sticka. Me who is a maintainer. But in the campaign and I'm MP, how I know we see a casa and I'm MP. But when it comes to Parliament, we schooly money affair a day. And there was your so I was watching what you comment section in where is the 24-hour economy? Me didn't add your demand come about and I could feel good day, Macron.